Hello everyone, this is Mike with ShadowTrader and the Stock and Options Room. I want to take a few moments today to share this concept that Peter talks about all the time, when what should happen doesn't. As a matter of fact, as I think about this, in the 20 years or almost 20 years that I've followed along with Peter's work, I have to say that this concept right here, if you want to call it a concept or a habit of getting into asking a question, when what should happen doesn't, is probably been one of the primo, for lack of a better term, things that I have learned from Peter. He asks that question all the time, and because of that, I started asking that question as I looked at my charts, and I developed the ability to focus on my charts with that question percolating in my mind on a regular basis, to the point where nowadays, if something doesn't happen that I expected to happen, I take it very, very seriously. And so this series of 5 letters has probably made me money and kept me from losing money more than many other concepts that I incorporate into my trading. I don't know if that's completely true, but it's a big deal. When I look at Chipotle here, I have to just point out a situation here that happened this week that this applies to. Here we have the daily chart, and we all know this chart very well. We know what happened with the news back here. I interpret this as all very bullish, and that this breakout right here should be significant. And if I look at this trade in the 4-hour, I took a long trade here along with the room, and we rode it up into here, expecting to get more out of this based on what I thought the left side of the chart was telling me. But we've spent 10 days up here, hardly getting anywhere, and this part of the price action here the day before on Thursday, we did a look above and fail where it tried to get above this level right here, and now it's all the way back into here. When I saw it coming into this level, I looked at this and said, when what should happen doesn't, I'm getting out of this trade. And so I took the money that we had and got out, and it has continued to go on down. And so this is an example of being willing to ask that question and not hanging on to something with some type of a false hope or whatever, just with a very objective ability to ask that question and act accordingly. If this had tried to move up and done this right here earlier on in the situation, I might not have been quite so quick to get out. But when this happened here and this happened here, I go, this should have moved up by now. I'm getting out. And so that's an example there. Here, look at Amazon real quick. Had to get out of an Amazon trade. Why is that? Because this long consolidation zone right here, moving back up all the way across there, this breakout should have produced more than it did on the Amazon chart. I took a long trade right here, had to get out at a loss right here, but when I saw this coming back up in here, I'm going, what should have happened is it should have moved on up. This move across here, this definitively should have created a little bit more. And so I was able to salvage this trade with a smaller loss than I would be sitting in right now if I would have waited. And so that's an example. Another example is crude oil here. Let's just look at the crude oil chart here a second. Here we have a very large descending type triangle. It's culminating here in a large price compression triangle. This has been largely believed that this market should be going up, and that with inflation and whatnot going on, all the different arguments, there's a lot of people that are very bullish on the energy sector right now. But those that are following along with my work in the room know that when we saw, let me go to a daily here, when I saw that this price right here came down to this support level, tested the bottom of the triangle, and made it to here, but then turned around and came all the way back to here on a fairly quick time factor, I went, something is wrong here. We couldn't even make it up to the top of the triangle. This is not very bullish. And I began to suspect even before that there was something up with this market and that it isn't as bullish as people might have thought. Simply because I'm constantly asking the question, what should have happened that didn't happen? And now you can see that it has developed into a much further drop outside of that triangle to a larger basing pattern, which I do believe that it is still telling me that it is heading lower. And what should have happened if this was going to be a legitimate test that was going to lead into a up move in oil off of a major support zone right there, I would say that this should have moved past this level right here last week. It did not do it, and it rolled over again. I have strong suspicions that the oil market is going to disappoint a lot of bulls in the days to come, simply because I am asking that question and trading accordingly. So I guess I'm just using those three examples and bringing this up because, yes, Peter brings this up, but don't pass over the ability to objectively ask this question lightly. Don't pass over it lightly. Take it seriously. Think about it. Think about how much money it can keep you from losing. And asking that question, how much money can it make me, by interpreting what the market should have done when it doesn't do it. In the case of Chipotle, I made some money and got out. Let's see if it rolls on over. In the case of Amazon, I prevented a larger loss. In the case of crude oil here, we have been short the crude oil market, and it's making us money. And so, and again, sometimes that might mean that you're going against the common narrative that you might be hearing out there. So this is extremely important. I wanted to highlight that again. And again, just kudos to Peter. And I encourage everyone to incorporate the ability to objectively ask that question in your trading. So thank you, Peter.
Hi, my name is Mike, and I'm one of the moderators for the new ShadowTrader Stock and Options Room. Thank you for joining me for this video today. And if you enjoyed it, hit the like and subscribe buttons below. You know, I'd like to invite you to join me in the new Stock and Options Room. We've got some good trades going, studying some great charts and learning some great stuff together. In general, there's a lot of great content there that I think you would benefit from. So, until then, I wish you good trading, and I'll see you in the room.